Success Benjamin, your day just got brightened. Ify, how you doing?
I feel on top of the world
It's the-
because of what Uzo already
yeah,
mentioned.
yeah.
Yes, but he said schoolgirls, and that reminded me of Chibok. We're talking of school children
Okay.
this time and their
Okay.
teachers.
Okay.
Yes,
That's to show you my penchant for the girl child.
Of course,
I'm an advocate of the
you
girl
are
child.
proudly he for she. So we
Yeah.
are so glad that we woke up on Saturday morning to that cheering news.
Yes.
We're able to see them. Someone was asking,
Is
one
it AI?
cloth. They were wearing the same outfit for 56 days.
56
Definitely.
days.
That was a lot. Who would have thought that
lot.
was possible? But we are grateful and happy. So we're hoping that today, as we dive into the topical issues, we'll find a way forward, away from that, such that that never happens again.
That's the point.
Yeah.
All right. We will continue with Morning Dew when we return. Stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, straight up, we go to news updates, and success is real.
Welcome to News Update on Morning Dew. Sharing story and sharing news this morning. What a story to begin the day. The presidency has confirmed the rescue of adopted Oyo children from the grammar school in Orire local government area of Oyo State after spending 56 days in captivity. Presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga announced the development, saying all the victims had been safely rescued by security agencies in a video after their release. The school's vice principal, Alamu Folawe, thanked President Bola Tinubu and security personnel for their efforts, expressing gratitude for securing their freedom. The Oyo State Commissioner of Police, Olubenga Abimbola, also confirms the rescue, adding that details of the operation would be made public later. And going over to the federal government has received the sixth batch of Nigerians evacuated from South Africa following recent xenophobic attacks and anti-immigrant protests. The latest group arrived at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, on Friday night, bringing the total number of returnees to 1,174. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, in a statement by the Director of Media, Public Relations and Protocols, Abdul Raham Balogu, said the evacuation was carried out using 4 Air Peace flights, which transported 258, 266, 262, and 282 passengers, respectively, while 66 others arrived on a ValueJet flight. Officials of NIDCOM and security agencies were on hand to receive the returnees, assist with documentation, and coordinate the federal government support. Returnees from Imo State also received a sum of 1 million naira each through the support of Governor Hope Uzodinma. The commission said the evacuees expressed appreciation to the federal government, state governments, religious organizations, and private institutions for their assistance. They also thanked the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, Nigeria's acting High Commissioner to South Africa, Ambassador Temitope Alexander Ajayi, and the Chairman, CEO of NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri Erewa, for their efforts throughout the evacuation process. Now on sports, Jude Bellingham scored twice as England came from behind to defeat Norway a 2-3 after extra time, securing a place in the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Bellingham netted the winning goal after reacting quickest to finish from the close range when Norway goalkeeper Oyam Nelan spilled a powerful strike from substitute Morgan Rogers, ending Norway's impressive World Cup campaign. Norway thought they had regained the lead just before the hour mark through Torbjørn Eggen, but the goal was ruled out after a VAR review, founding Erling Haaland has pushed Elliot Anderson during the build-up from a corner. England also survived late scores as Christopher Aja headed against the crossbar, while Jet Space nearly capitalized on a poor clearance by Nyland before the match went into extra time. The Free Lions will now face either defending champions Argentina or surprise package Switzerland in the FIFA World Cup semi-finals at Atlanta Stadium on 15th July. Now on foreign news, prominent U.S. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has died at the age of 71 following a brief and sudden illness. His office announced that Graham passed away on the evening of Saturday, July 11, in a statement on his official X account. Graham began his career in Congress after winning election to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1994, representing South Carolina. He later joined the U.S. Senate in 2003, where he became one of the Republican Party's most influential voices on foreign policy, national security, and defense. Known for his strong support for Ukraine, Israel, and an active U.S. role in global affairs, Graham became one of President Donald Trump's closest allies in the Senate. He played a key role in debates on judicial appointments, immigration, and foreign policies. Although Graham was a vocal critic of Trump during the 2016 Republican presidential primaries, the two later developed a close political alliance that shaped much of his later career in Washington. And that's it on news updates. Stay with us when we return. Plenty more to come.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Welcome back and straight to the papers, what they are saying today. And we're beginning with Empire newspaper. We have mysterious plane lands in Kaboji, Niger State. Residents demand explanation. Drug war. NDLA arrests Okada rider with 100 wraps of meth in Lagos after Madagascar trip. As agency seizes 10.3 billion Canadian loud. That's what we have. Of course, Plateau bleeds again. Family of 10 slaughtered in their home. Infant among victims. That's it on Empire newspaper.
And moving on to the pointer this morning, we have there the major headline say INEC extends deadline for submission of candidates. And right there we have 23 years after, Oboriwori set to rescue abandoned Delso Senate building. And that's it for the pointer this morning.
Let's now move to Business Day, and we have this one on what's going on in the power sector. Nigerian universities join corporate exodus from national grid. What is the impact on the power sector? We'll find out during the analysis. And still on Business Day, U.S. launches fresh Iran strikes as Tehran declares Hormuz closed. And fresh Gulf tensions dim hopes of clearing Nigeria's port container backlog. Topical stories we have for you on Business Day.
And moving on to Daily Trust this morning, Daily Trust, the front page, FG's exam fee hike raises dropout fears. And that's it for Daily Trust this morning.
All right, next is Nigeria Tribune. And of course, we have untold story of Orire rescue operation. How General Rabi's death influenced tactical change by security agencies. Arrest of their wives forced terrorists to relax hashtags, stopped use of abductees as human shield. Suspected headers kill 16 in Benue. Iran closes Strait of Hormuz as hostilities escalate with the U.S. Experts warn on multiplicity of security agencies at Nigeria's airports. And then, of course, we have APC kicks as INEC extends deadline for presidential National Assembly nomination list. That's what we have. Okay, that's what we have in the Tribune.
Moving on to Guardian, Nigeria leaves e-waste recycling to hustlers, misses out on $8-9 billion income. Then we have here PFIPC, police arraign Adeyemi tomorrow as pressure mounts on Senate ICPC. Atiku Nans fourth proposed 50,000 WAEC NECO fees hike. Accountability prevail in probe of NNPCL's 20 trillion naira shortfall. And that's it for the Guardian.
And now let us move on to the next on our lineup.
The Punch.
What do we have on the Punch this morning? The topical story is troops kill 274 insurgents as Nigeria records 822 attacks. We have these riders. Borno tops violence chart with 172 fatalities. Zamfara Plateau follow. U.S. body report says insurgents target AIDS workers, cargo trucks, and schools. Report identifies Borno's Monguno axis as Nigeria's critical humanitarian flashpoint. Now we have this photo of flooded roads. We see keke napep, bikes, motorcyclists stranded amidst the flood. And that's commuters stranded as flood wreaks havoc on Lagos and Ogun roads. Above the masthead of the Punch, recovered ISWAP footage reveals Palestinian trainer, Moroccan doctor, and that's coming from Army. Foreign debt service engulfs almost 80, that is $1 billion in 2 months. And on 2027 presidency, APC Muslim ticket sparks fresh debate. This coming on the heels of the governor, the president announcing that his running mate still continues with him in 2027. Let's move on.
Now, moving on to Daily Sun this morning, talking about still the adopted Orire school pupils and teachers. Security sources revealed how adopters' wives' kids' arrest paved way for rescue. And we have FG borrowed 7.6 trillion naira via T-bills bond in 6 months. Article slams FG over increase in WAEC NECO fees, says government making education more expensive for Nigerians. And here we have rescue other Nigerians in captivity in Borno, Katsina others. Khan tells FG why I want to engage Obi in debates. That's coming from Umahi. LNG, UTM offshore target September final investment decision. And that's it for the Daily Sun this morning.
All right, finally, for what we have the Vanguard. Of course, how arrest of kidnappers' family members led to rescue of victims. Our children may not return to school, Orire parents speak. And then, of course, we have banks. Banks/lending out 5.4 trillion naira across key sectors. Oil cartels, tanker operators, enforcement agencies blamed for Apapa Kirikiri gridlock. That's all on the Vanguard.
And moving on to the Daily Independent. The Daily Independent, main headline that Nigeria's economy recovery, leaving millions behind. And also e-payment fraud losers drop, but advanced cyber tactics rise. Khan hails Oyo People's Rescue, urge total freedom for all hostages. APC sweeps Edo Council pills, wins all 18 chairmanship seats. And that's it for the Daily Independent.
And on the New Telegraph, we have the reaction of Khan reported differently. That's Khan reaction to the Orire rescued school children and teachers. This time, Oyo Rescue, don't forget to other Nigerians still in captivity, Khan tells federal government. We also have the topical story on New Telegraph, protection of financial livelihood by powerful actors fueling terrorism in Nigeria. That's coming from Amakri. Now, we also have the Riders, National Assembly, how Tinubu State Police Initiative will help combat insecurity. Bandits have no religion, stop linking criminality to Islam. That's coming from Oluwo. Armed herders attack Benue community, kill residents. And we also have this one here, why federal government should end rehabilitation of repentant terrorists by lawyers. Losing sleep may trigger weight gain. That's a study.
Really?
These are the topical stories on the front page of New Telegraph.
Just losing sleep or quality sleep?
Losing it sleep altogether.
Okay.
Not sleeping.
Can make you gain weight.
Really?
I thought it's when
I
you
thought
sleep.
it's when you sleep.
Well,
they confuse us all the time. Sometimes they say cholesterol is good, cholesterol is bad.
There's good and bad cholesterol.
Okay. So it's just like everything that is having advantage also has the disadvantage of it. So when you don't sleep, you gain weight. Could that be what has been happening to me in the past weeks?
Go and check. See your doctor. All right, that's what we have on the newspaper headlines. When we come back, we shall begin to choose some of them and see how they make sense to us as Nigerians. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
will bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Wake up with us every morning.
Will bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News Hour, your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity. And unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
Dott Entertainment, your weekly dose of pure fun, airing every Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. only on Dott TV.
doesn't from Harrison. That is a massive world record. Martinelli goes, boys, out of his goal. Martinelli.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, viewer, welcome back on Morning Dew. And of course, we want to believe you're excited as we are here in the studio because the pervading news since the beginning of the week or the end of last week is that the much spoken, much talked about Orire schoolgirls and their teachers have been rescued by the Nigerian forces. And it makes everybody glad. That's the point we want to bring you to the review of the headlines in the papers. And of course, Godfrey Ubaka is already here. Godfrey,
thank you very much.
How did you receive the news? How did you receive the news of the release of the school children?
What was a major news break, excuse me, on Friday.
Yeah.
It was a major news break. And the good news is that they have been released. The details of the operation has been coming out ever since. With respect to the arrest of the they were able to identify who were behind the kidnap. I mean, the hostage taking and abduction. So they now have to also arrest their wives and children and interrogated them within the provision of the law. But while that was going on, they recorded it, and somehow the video had to be leaked to the kidnappers themselves. Or you have our citizens,
we have your
also
family.
have your family. And I think that marked the turning point because they now needed, before then they were using the abducted children as shield. And it's like they had upper hand in the negotiation and the talk. But that weakened them because they are also human beings. And so obviously that was the beginning of the victory. With intelligence got to a point that they were no longer using them as shield, and they had to
Swoop
move
on them.
Yes. But of course we have the variants of the entire story in the newspapers, including the lieutenant that we lost, an officer that we lost, that the father also broke down that Nigerians could be rejoicing, but that the 28-year-old son, an officer in the Nigerian army, that was part of that operation and died, was the hope of his family. You know? So about 56 days after, could a nation have waited for 56 days? The trauma, and while the celebration is on, the parents are saying our children may not go back to school. Yes, and if they are going back to school, it cannot be. It
cannot be that same
and they can't go back to school immediately because they need to work on them, counseling and psychology, so that they can
debrief them of the trauma.
56 days in the den
captivity,
kidnappers.
People carrying guns.
It's not about 56 hours. So they have been thoroughly traumatized. But the good news is that something has happened in the direction of having them freed. And of course, we know the geopolitical setting in Nigeria. Some sections of the country are saying what you did in the southwest with respect to Orire,
of course,
you come also to Macedonia and help us. Come also.
Always ask for more.
That there are people in other parts of the country who have been the Borno school kidnap, that they have been there. So why is it that federal government, as it were, gave some priority to what happened in the southwest? You know, that is it. But it's also heartwarming that this particular situation or incident, though not a good one, even when it ended in this joyful note, as it were, appeared to have reconciled the governor of Oyo State with the president.
The president,
because the president himself has had to come out to say, "Oh, the government of Oyo State collaborated so much. And what lesson do we learn from that? Let political differences it shouldn't be. There are things you don't play politics.
Yeah,
security is one
that's
of
right.
them.
That's right.
Food, stomach infrastructure is one of them.
True.
There are things that hunger doesn't hide, and it knows no tribe.
Mm.
You know, so yes, they have had their political differences, but in this situation, they had to collaborate because security is everybody's business.
That's right.
And it became that gave rise to the kind of rejoicing that the nation is doing now, even when we do know that it ought not to have happened in the very first place.
And for that long as well. Now let's look at going forward. We saw that these people were there for almost 2 months, wearing the same cloth. You know, they came out, and of course we know we lost a lot of people in the midst of this, apart from the officer who died sadly. Let us talk about what this says about our disposition security-wise. Just last week, the president had a closed-door meeting with security chiefs. What strategy would work better for the Nigerian security system, especially now that we already know what worked in this sense? Intelligence sharing, we already know that some things were done, and it took a long time for that to be done, because when people are already kidnapped and you're having to go and start thinking of what to do, you're wasting a lot of time in the process. People will be lost and all. So what strategy?
Yes, I think all tiers of government need to be at alert, and all the arms of security, the nation's security architecture should
even the communities
should be more at alert. Communities. Let's not forget that as at midweek stroke Thursday, the presidency had the president had a meeting with the security chiefs.
Yeah.
So these were all countdown. But I think as a nation, we should not allow non-state actors, whether you call them bandits, terrorists, insurgents, to set the pace.
Yes.
While we are just reacting.
It's like we
are. Our intelligence network, security intelligence network, should be such that it should be proactive. We should, in fact, set the pace. You understand? And don't forget that I had said that it ought not to have happened at all.
So
we ought to have prevented.
Prevention is our best strategy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now we are talking about prevention now, because the issue of kidnap, the incidents of kidnap, they are not patterns. So when you talk about being alert, for instance, who will imagine that insurgents will go to a school and kidnap school children? So
but I think we should be prepared at all times.
That's what I'm saying. Prepared for what? Now, prepared for government agencies.
We should secure our children.
And secure our communities.
Secure our children.
Yes.
Secure our
with what number of policemen do we have now?
That is why we should stop prevaricating over state police.
Okay.
We should stop the prevarication over state police. We have played politics with it for too long.
For too long, yes.
That a centralized police in Abuja will help me win election.
So let us
wait until after election. We should break down the security architecture such that every community is well secured, well policed. Schools should be well secured and well policed, so that we don't allow these things to happen.
School security. I did mention on this program sometime that there's something called the School Safety Squad of the Nigerian Police that is already existing. So I believe that if that existing squad is effective, and perhaps
to man all the schools.
Of course, they have it across
primary and
states.
secondary
Across
schools.
states. So these are already very well trained police personnel. So what we need to do now that state police is coming on stream is to expedite the process and perhaps expand that school security.
I'm interested in the expansion because we have a number of schools.
Because now you're going to have members of the state police being part of that same squad because they understand the communities better. That way you can have more police for schools.
Now, there's a
twist. What they do as well is not just, they're not going to be there all the time. They will train the security personnel in the schools. They will also train the children, the students and the pupils, and even the teachers.
To be alert and defend themselves.
Everyone gets trained eventually. So if we have that, I believe that we won't be complaining a lot going forward.
Okay, Obaka, before we let off, there's a twist I see. How come that these people who seem to be very brutal you know, they don't have emotion. You kidnap school
Suddenly
children,
had
and then
emotions.
they kidnap your own family member, and now you are. I thought they were very
No, no, no.
You see,
Sorry,
blood
before you continue.
runs in their
Veins.
in their veins. Yes, there could be high on drugs, but the effect of drug has also a time that it wanes down.
Okay.
They are basically human beings.
All right.
That for them to see a video clips of their children and their wives. Yes. You have our citizens. We also have people close to you. So if you harm those ones, we harm you.
You know what to do with it.
Exactly. That did go a very far place in winning
We should
down
give our
the
military
result.
kudos.
Yes, we're giving
Kudos
them
for
the
this
kudos,
intelligence.
yes.
You know,
Intelligence
it was
gathering
a master
information,
stroke.
yes.
It was a master stroke.
It was, because I just want to say that you know, security now, they deserve these kudos, because how were they able to identify these persons and also be able to identify their family members?
The place of
yes.
intelligence.
So it's a
because
great
no
work.
matter who you are, you live in a society, you live in a community, you have neighbors. And if they know what you're doing and you're a suspicious person,
so that means these bandits or kidnappers are members of the community as well.
Of course, they live around us now. People live around us, and
they are not spirit.
Yes, they're not spirit, because before you target a particular school and know what to do, you must be living around the school. You must know the school. You must know the operations before you can, you know, swoop on them. All right, so much on that, and kudos to our military for what they have done. We ask for more, like Oliver. All right, now let's go to politics. We are hearing that Mr. President is continuing with his running mates, his vice president, and that spells another debate on Muslim ticket. Were we expecting that President Tinubu was going to drop Shetima and take a Christian?
No, the speculation actually was that they want, you know, the want between the two offices was at a low level, that it was being speculated that the president might have to
drop him.
Looking forward to 2027 election, might have to drop him. So names were already being speculated by the current Minister of Defense, who incidentally is a Christian, could get in there. And there were also speculations about Hassan Kuka and all that. Hassan Kuka has had to come out, Bishop has had to come out to say, please, leave me out of all this. Just leave me out.
Don't drag me into this.
Don't drag me into this. You know. But what came out now is that already APC has uploaded the candidates, and Mr. President is going with his vice in the person of Shetima. You know, so that also has sparked up the debate of a Muslim, or what people call same faith ticket.
It's not related. It's not
going forward to 2027.
They have the debate
that Nigeria is a secular country.
Definitely.
And you have a population of Christians predominantly. So some of the biggest Christian gatherings in the world happen to be hosted here in Nigeria. That how come that the Aso Rock, the place where decisions are made should be presided over by two Muslims, you know, so that really is it. But that debate is also coming from the angle of, there are also people who are saying, do not look at their faith, look at their competence. You know, my worry more is that the combination of Tinubu and Shetima, they've not shown economic smartness. They've not shown accountability in government. They've not taken Nigerian economy to the next level.
But there are those who say it's doing a reformation and it's transforming our economy, and they know how they see it.
They are talking of reform, but the reform is taking too long for us to see.
It has not
manifested more of deform. It has been more of deforming the economic structure, deforming the families and their earning power, So the reforms, yes, should have time, gestation period, but it's taking too long for us, for Nigerians to see
the benefit
of the reform. So I am more concerned about how their governance is affecting the standard of living, how infrastructure is being revived, and how the ordinary citizen out there is feeling the impact of governance. I'm not too concerned. Your faith is a private thing to you. And we have been told that Tinubu actually in the core Muslim areas is seen more like a Yoruba Muslim that is a liberal Muslim who has a pastor in Redeem as a wife. We know that. And that for him to actually be accepted in the core Muslim north, he needs a Muslim. So that's another political permutation somewhere.
Yes.
But I'm not too bothered about whether we had it in Abiola Kingibe, Muslim. Even, and Nigerians voted. Nigerians voted overwhelmingly for them in the most credible election we've ever had.
But don't you think that at that time, this decalage, this differential between Christians and Muslims was not too loud that time?
Yes,
there's a serious consciousness
the political elites have not taken it up to this Christian
level.
Because there are people who are benefiting from dividing people over issues of religion. Otherwise, it shouldn't be played up to this level. You go to the market, nobody asks whether you are a Muslim. There's no Christian market.
There's no Muslim market.
We live more peacefully when we understand ourselves basically as Nigerians. There are issues of insecurity that should bother us. And I am bothered that the combination of Shetima and Tinubu, they have not done anything significant, to make Nigerian space better secured.
Well, any which way we look at it, we find that it's just usual that a president will continue a second term with his vice. So nothing much. Let's see what they will do. Well, I will continue with the review when we come back. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, you saw a lot of quotes about money there, what to do with money, how to spend it, how to double it. It's not by putting it in a Ponzi scheme, fold it into two and put it back in your pocket.
It's double.
There's some sense in that. But then that brings us to an issue of concern to Nigerians. Money matters. Now, the fee for NECO registration and WAEC registration are just been taken up 100%, from 25,000 thereabout to 50,000.
Yeah.
And we are crying that things are hard for the average Nigerian. And of course, we know that one of the greatest investments we have is on our children. So this increase, what is the reason?
Well, I give kudos to the various editors in the various newsrooms for the priority they gave to this news item.
Okay.
And there were diverse slants given to it. Some had to take it from how opposition condemned it. And I think the Daily Trust did a great work on that, because you had a rider with respect to how the fear of dropouts. The fear of dropout. We have out of school children.
Yes.
It's a population in 37 million thereabout, and it is growing by the day. And when you have a population that is preponderantly uneducated, then out of school children, then you have social issues.
Running the risk.
Social issues that you ought to have taken care of today, which you are postponing till tomorrow. There is no educated fellow who has a meaningful job, possibly in the bank,
yes,
that will want to be recruited by
insurgents.
into insurgency or something.
True.
You know, those they recruit and radicalize are usually products of the dropouts,
desperation.
You know, who are products of in some parts of the country they call them the Alemajeri system. So now the question is, why would the Federal Ministry of Education, of course representing the federal government, approve that there be an upward review from 27,500 naira, which many families are not able
They're
to
struggling
pay.
with in the first
Now
place.
make it 50,000
Naira.
naira. Then if you have 1-2 children, that then it gets to 100. Then of course, to a number of families.
Back at the irony is that those who can pay, they have fewer children. Those who cannot pay, they have more children.
Those who can pay even fly them abroad. And they take them
Exactly.
abroad and pay in advance.
And in the
In
context
dollar.
of
And
the minimum wage as well.
public
Let's
funds.
also situate
That's
it in the
not what I
context
meant.
of the
I mean,
minimum
yeah.
wage.
I mean, the average people that can pay, they have fewer children.
Okay.
The ones who cannot pay are the ones that have plenty
Well,
children.
yeah, they made it up with plenty children.
Imagine a parent who earns the minimum wage having to pay this fee. What
Yeah.
are they left with?
Oh, that's the issue. And if we contextualize it with respect to what the Constitution says about the responsibility of government
To the children.
in
child's
terms of
rights.
education.
Child's rights.
And where were we in Second Republic when education was made free, universal, and compulsory? And even in some states, we had what they call Edu Marshal. You know, I know that
Was
in,
here
in
in
Delta,
Yes.
in Duanga's time,
Yes.
there was Edu Marshal who were out there to ensure that any child seen hawking
During
when he should
school hours.
be in school, they will pick up the child and trace the parent or whoever is staying with, and of course prosecute them.
That's right.
That was a way of a society trying to ensure that
children
there
are
are no
free.
children of today who become liabilities tomorrow.
True.
It's only through, then the federal government even came up with another incentive, school feeding project.
Yes.
That a child who comes to Uzigwe Primary School from any of the neighboring
Gets a
towns in
meal.
Asaba is entitled to a meal. Never mind that
It ended up being
it
pop-up
ended
and-
up being
Pop-up and,
it didn't quite work out well, but it was well intended. Now parents, families are struggling with 27,500. You now made it 50,000 naira. It is clear that dropouts will be on the increase. But the federal government tried justifying it, that the cost of supervising this examination and people who are teachers and retired teachers who are marking, you have WAEC markers, you have NECO markers, that the cost of retaining them is getting high. So it's about operational cost. And the question is, shouldn't a responsible government have anything that is subsidizing? You've taken away the subsidy on fuel.
On petroleum.
You've taken away the subsidy on education now. And as such, you expect parents that if you can't afford it, then what do you do to the children when they cannot afford it? So I think a responsible government, especially in a democratic setting, should be responsible enough to pick certain costs and bill.
Yes,
it's not everything that
subsidize
must
All
go
of the
back
public.
to the public. Otherwise, you continue having a society that is dichotomized. The rich will continue to
Get rich.
and they are fewer. And
It's a
the
project
poor
for
will
some
get
people.
so poor they cannot feed. And because the poor is hungry and because they cannot feed,
They become
the
violent.
rich will also not sleep
Yeah.
because the poor become violent. And they start manifesting in one form of insurgency or the other, you know, or unknown gunmen in some parts of the country and all that. So we need to plan, we need to strategize, and we also need some social content in even our policies so that it doesn't become too harsh.
Yes.
That we have some people who are disconnected, and at some point they have a way of trying to
Now,
fight back.
the thing they throw back at people like us and those above us is that we benefited from the largesse of governance. You know, some of us went to school free of charge. Some of us went to school, most of our expenses paid by government.
Yeah.
Now, the same people...
Is that generation?
The same people
Is
now
that
are the
generation
ones
that-
rejecting that all costs should be borne
Exactly.
by the child.
Exactly. And it's a disturbing paradox. An irony,
Yes.
painful one.
All right, we move on. We hope that something will be done to look at that because I think that 50,000 is on the
It's
very high
It's
side.
on the high, it's on the high
Very
side.
high.
No matter
It's on
what
the
you
high
want.
side. We call for a downward review.
Yes.
All right, let's go back to politics a little. The deadline for submission of candidates has been extended. Do we say expectedly?
Yeah, expectedly, because a number of the parties were not meeting up. Oh yes, and the extension is just is minimal. 12 p.m. 12 midnight tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow should be 14th.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 p.m. tomorrow. So
When
they
was-
now
when
have
was
a
the deadline
window.
today?
No, the deadline was supposed to be 12 midnight of Saturday.
Okay.
So they have the whole of Sunday,
Weekend to sort themselves
today,
out.
and the whole of tomorrow up to 12 midnight.
Okay.
You know, so that now gives a window of opportunity for them to put their houses in order and upload their candidate. But it's not just the news; it's the aftermath of the news that is interesting to me as a news watcher.
And what do you
know? Yes, the APC the opposition parties are saying that window was given because APC
As
was
not
also
sorted itself out.
in turmoil. They have not sorted themselves out. There are still fake versions
Yes.
of candidates, and the versions from Abuja has its own version. The states have their own version. They are in court. A number of them are in court because they were winners by the primary.
Yes.
But there are winners that emerged through party consensus, leadership of the party.
By veto.
By veto. So, the opposition parties are saying that it was done more to favor APC. But the APC came out through our brother Moka, Felix Moka.
Yeah, Felix Moka.
That's their spokesperson.
Yeah.
To now take the opposition parties to the cleaners, saying that it was done in their favor, that they have not been able to put their houses in order. And if they were not able to put their houses in order for as little as to upload your candidates, then how prepared are you to come and take over leadership
from us,
APC?
Yes,
So that aspect actually turns out to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
And that politicians, and especially their spokesperson, have a way of picking up one thing and using it to demarket the others.
Yes.
And we'll be seeing more of this as we get closer and closer to the election.
So what do we expect parties to begin to do right now, especially those who really want to be on the ballot?
Yes, to use this window of extension to actually have your candidates.
Are you sure the window will not be coming down? Are you sure by tomorrow midnight they will have all uploaded, or they will still expand the window?
We know that some of them are still trying to tie up some internal democracy issues. So
yes,
what can they do quickly?
Yes, we expect that they hasten up processes, but truth be told, a number of them were embroiled in crises that didn't emanate internally. Crisis as a result of infiltration and factionalization by the ruling party. We just have to say the truth, by the ruling party, that if you ask the ruling party, they will want to be on the ballot alone. and call it democracy.
That will not be democracy
And
anymore.
that will not be democracy. Democracy without opposition. You have taken the choice from the people.
Yeah.
If the people do not have opportunity of choice, if the people do not have opportunity of comparing manifestos, you know,
comparing candidates,
a candidate, like we had it in the Second Republic. We keep making reference to that.
Yes.
You know, UPN will come out and tell you free compulsory education. And they did end the votes in certain sections of the country. NPN came out in order to match that, say, we are not saying free education, but we are saying qualitative education. So it's now left for people to find out the difference between the free education, free compulsory education, or
and the quality.
Yes, but the Fasholas of this world, you know, who has been a governor of Lagos State
and then
two-term Minister of Works, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, currently back to his chamber, was a product of the free education in Lagos by Jakonde. So it's not surprising that I think NUJ now have, this is their 4th year of memorial lecture in honor of Lateef Jakonde, who was journalism's great gift to governance in Nigeria.
That's right.
You understand. He didn't use an official vehicle. He was still using his Toyota Crown. He was living in his own house. He was living in his own house. And he was ensuring that people were in school, both afternoon and evening schools. And he didn't owe the teachers. Never mind that, NPN of those days had to say that they were studying in infrastructure that was not befitting and all that.
Yeah. But they were studying.
The situation were that urgent that they had to build classrooms that may have had half the wall. Of course, it was good for ventilation, but the quality education, the products of that education system.
That man must have been a socialist.
We have socialists. Well, a bit of socialism. He did. He was an Awoist to the core. And they believe that education today secures the future for tomorrow.
Exactly.
And that it must not be for the elites alone. But that the citizen, government owed it a responsibility for the citizens to be educated. How come that today we are coming up with policies that will exclude certain segments of society from even getting to pay their WAEC registration?
You see, you mentioned something that, I just picked. That Fashola, after being governor and minister, went back to his chambers.
Yeah.
Could that become the trend? Is it not possible for people to play politics, serve your people, and go back to your private job?
Yeah, when you have a second address, he had a second address.
Yes.
He was a principal lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria. So there are certain settings he will not want to just stay and just mess himself up and be enduring a number of things. But the tragedy of Nigerian democracy is that it is peopled by a number of actors who do not have a second address.
Okay, so
their address is just the party. And so you see them, if the governor say, do this, if you're a commissioner without a second address, if the governor say, put your head on you will put it there.
That because you don't have a
but
second
if
address.
you have a second address, then if things are happening that run counter to your principles,
of course,
you go back to your second address. Your second address could be your clinic. As a medical doctor.
That's right.
Your second address could be to lecture.
Yeah.
Your second address could be your chamber.
That's right.
But when you do not have a second address, or when you are overwhelmed by the lure of office, and you believe you were wasting time in that clinic where you were generating so amount, that by signing signature now, you just can rake 2 million. Of course, you will insist on being in that enclosure. Even when you are not, you are no longer enjoying. Emotionally, you feel that a number of things are going wrong. Those are not the kind of men we need if our democracy will ever get crystallized and get better. We need people who are principled. We need people who have been tested and can be trusted, and who have second addresses that they can fall back
and
to.
know when to leave.
That does it for paper review this morning. The takeaway is you want to be a politician, have a second address, so that after all your sojourn in office, you have somewhere to go back to Thank you, Ubaka, for coming.
Thank you so very much, Henry.
We hope to have you again tomorrow.
Your pretty women too.
Yeah, they are still with me. Yeah, I'm blessed in their midst. Well, if you are, keep watching Morning Dew. We'll be back.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
From Harrison. That is a massive world record. Martinelli goes, boys, out of his goal. Martinelli, Julian here. This will be 3 for Arsenal.
Welcome back, and of course, with that little montage, you know we've closed up to sports. Anthony Uche is in the studio to give us an update. Yesterday was dull.
Yes.
Today is going to be dull again.
Yeah, unfortunately, because when there's no football, a lot of things
everywhere
happen.
dull.
But that depends on whether or not you like variety with your sports. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, over the weekend, like you said, it was quite, of course, now we've decided the semi-finals brackets. England will take on Argentina, and Spain will face France for a place in the last game of this ongoing FIFA World Cup. And coincidentally, the last 4 teams at the World Cup also make up the top 4 rankings in FIFA. So you can say everybody has played to their strength so far.
They paid their dues.
Yes, and they've landed where the FIFA rankings suggest they would at the World Cup. And on their route to this final qualification, of course, we talked about France defeating Morocco on Friday when I was here. But the games between England and Norway, and then, of course, the one between Argentina and Switzerland happened over the weekend. So we're not able to talk about them. So I'll just go over them briefly. England defeated Norway from behind by 2-1. That's Andreas Schodrup scored the first goal for Norway, and then of course a certain Mr. Jude Bellingham lived up to the tag of the biggest shooter in the English national team. Scored 2 goals. Remember, of course, the previous game he scored 2 as well in the Azteca against Mexico within 90 seconds, and he's carried that very rich vein of form so far into the game against Norway. Well, there are a lot of coincidental controversies that happened in that game. Let's just put it that way. Controversial decisions, including a ball which the goalkeeper cleared, the Norway goalkeeper cleared, hit the spider cam or a cable of the spider cam, which the referee did not spot. The VAR was not their jurisdiction to spot that. So the goal eventually was given when England equalized. And a lot of Norwegians have been up in arms about that. But in my opinion, that's something you call a force majeure. It's not something you go into a game planning that it would happen. Because I've never even actually seen football hit a spider cam cable before in my life. And the spider cam has been in use since about 2006 in football. So that's not something you could have expected the referee to plan ahead of. So you can understand why that one caught them off guard. And then, of course, England qualified. And the next game that took place early hours of Saturday morning, Switzerland versus Argentina. It was not short of controversy either. But of regular time, 1-1 and at full time, and then the game went to extra time. And Switzerland had to play all of the extra time with 10 men because Breel Mbolo was sent off. And now, this is where it gets tricky. So when the reason that VAR gave for giving him a second yellow was because, of course, he was judged as a simulation. So he came into contact with a certain Leandro Paredes of Argentina, and it was deemed that he died, basically. That's what a simulation is in football, trying to act in a certain way to convince referees to get favor. Yes. So, but the problem is not there. The problem is the characterization or the moniker that VAR gave that decision. So when they came back, we saw this in the game as well between Paraguay and the United States of America, where a Paraguayan player dived and they got a free kick. The VAR overturned it, but the problem was the tag it is given. It is given a mistaken identity, and that's where VAR comes in. VAR has a jurisdiction of goals, offsides, wrongly awarded corner kicks, mistaken identities. That's where their jurisdiction brings them into the game. Now, this particular one was seen just like the one between Paraguay and the USA as a case of mistaken identity, but that's not what it should be. Because the VAR should not get involved when a player dives unless it leads to a penalty. VAR comes in and makes sure that decision is clear and obvious to be awarded as a penalty. But when this happens like it did in this case, outside anywhere that could lead to a penalty, VAR should not get involved because there's no case. They are saying this is a case of mistaken identity. There is no case of mistaken identity here because Paredes was not sent off.
Yes,
VAR does not get involved in cases that do not lead to sendings off or second yellow cards. So when Paredes was given a yellow card, where the referee thought he had fouled Breel Mbolo, I think that game should have been let to flow because now you are coming in. Mbolo already has a yellow card. You are putting VAR in a jurisdiction that they should never have been in the first place, and then you're giving somebody a second yellow card, reducing Switzerland to 10 men, which should not have happened in the case, in the first place, because there was no case of mistaken identity. So VAR had no business coming into that game. So basically, we are having VAR officials re-referee or re-officiate games, and that is not good. Because if the referee on the field does not have the right to make a call that should stand, then we are moving towards basically depending on people who
eroding the powers of the referee.
Exactly, you're depending on people who are not even inside the pitch to make decisions that affect games on the pitch. So that is the only place that I think a problem has arisen for FIFA. I mean, there's been so many controversial problems on this one. This World Cup has been made a mess of by a lot of these things that are not supposed to happen. I mean, a lot of the rules that even FIFA have adopted for this World Cup, UEFA has said they are not going to employ them. Other confederations have also said, no, not for us, because this thing has just been a big shambles so far. So nobody wants to even get associated with some of the things we've seen at this World Cup in terms of officiating. So that was the only problem. Additional extra time, played with 10 men. Switzerland tried the best they could, but it was not enough. Argentina ran out 3-1 winners in extra time, and they make it to the semi-finals. The second consecutive as well. If you remember 2022, they got to the semi-finals, eventually won the whole thing. So it is left to be seen what they will come up with against England. I mean, there's just so many things that keep on happening. And then, of course, the wonderful world of tennis, where, if you remember my time here last week, I told you a lot of the things was going to wrap up. And after 14 days, Wimbledon 2026 eventually wrapped up. And Yannick Sinner defended his Wimbledon title successfully, becoming the 10th man to do it since 1968 that the Open era started. So there's been 9 before him yesterday, and he retained his Wimbledon title to become the 10th. And of course, if you look back on those lists, you see a lot of names that you can, that rings a bell. You see a certain Novak Djokovic there, Rafael Nadal is there, Roger Federer is there, Bjorn Borg is there. So you just know he's an elite company, basically, the young man. And for Alexander Zverev, who you can see there with the Losers Trophy, he's had a very good year. This is a guy who was diagnosed with diabetes as young as 5 years old. So on the court, when he plays, sometimes he gets his insulin and all of those things while playing on court. And there are so many other things even that makes his game a bit more interesting than the average person. And coming off a Roland Garros trophy, he won the French Open less than a month ago. So he came in with this with a title mentality, and this has been by far his best ever grass performance.
Wow.
And you can understand why, because he was poured on by that victory in France. But unfortunately, came up. It was a case of a moving train coming up against an immovable object. And unfortunately, the rolling train in Yannick Sinner, eventually got the victory. But Yannick Sinner as well himself lost in the second round of Roland Garros. He did not play in any grass tournament after that to prepare for this Wimbledon. He just came straight from a clay court. And if you understand tennis, you understand there's a huge difference between playing on clay and playing on grass. Grass is a lot faster. It's a lot demanding. But this young man did not play any tournaments in preparation, because you see people after the clay court season, then you play a few lower level tournaments to prepare yourself for what it looks like to play on grass, and then before you go into the big one, which is Wimbledon. Yannick Sinner did not do that. He went straight from that disappointing second round defeat in Paris to Wimbledon, and he did not really show. Okay, yes, he did in his first game against Memir Kacimanovic, where he was taken to 5 sets and he was down by 2 sets to 1. But after that, he did not drop a single set all tournament until he did yesterday against Alexander Zverev. So a lot of the good stories coming out of that: mental resilience, fantastic ruthlessness for Yannick Sinner. And then, of course, to the ladies finals, I told you here on Friday that for the first time, two Czech Republic players, yes, we are going to play in a final for the first time in history. And it was the younger Czech, Linda Noskova, 21 years of age, that prevailed. But she almost never did. Because that game, if you see, well, Noskova won. It sounds very, very cliche. It sounds very straightforward, but it was nothing. It was not. She made it hard for herself. So the first set, she took 6-2, very dominant performance. And then in the second set, she was up 5-2. She had 5 championship points.
Wow.
Guess what happened? She bottled all those 5 championship points. Now, for any other human being, for an average player, that is enough to break you mentally.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen before. People come up against quality players. And let's not take anything away from Karolina Muchova. Muchova is a quality player. She's 10th seed. So that's how good her tennis was going into that final. And in that final, I guess by anybody else, judging by anybody else's standards, Muchova would have gone on to win that game, because when you drop 5 championship points, mentally, that is a big hurdle to overcome. But Linda Noskova, after dropping that second set, eventually losing it by 7 games to 5, from a 5-2 advantage, she took a toilet break, went there, regathered herself, came back, looked at the 2 trophies on offer. I said, I don't want that silver one. I want the golden one. She went there and played the last set and saw it off by 6 games to 3 to defeat her, her elder compatriots in Karolina Muchova, who I think is only a matter of time before Muchova wins a Grand Slam, because the way she's played so far against anybody else in that final. Because you know what it means to be down by 5 championship sets. You saved 1, saved 2, saved 3, saved 4, saved 5, won the set. On another tournament, basically, she could have just gone on to win that title, but it was not to be for her, unfortunately. And then we end on a rather sad and unfortunate note. One of the players, this is an incident or an event that brings everything in life into perspective. This young man, Jaden Adams, played at this World Cup that we are still watching.
Yeah.
They played 3 games out of the 4 games that South Africa played at this World Cup, but he's not even alive anymore.
Yeah.
Because he passed away. The news of his passing broke around 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I was at the stadium covering the Nigerian FA Cup final when I saw the news that he had passed. The Players Association of South Africa announced his unfortunate demise. And like I said,
what was the matter?
The cause of death is yet to be revealed, but there are so many stories.
Such a young man.
Yeah, very young, 25 years of age, and fortunately he's gone, left behind a child and a wife or a girlfriend or a partner, basically, because it's not yet confirmed the status of the relationship. But like I said, this young man played 3 or 4 games full of life, and even in the past season, played for Mamelodi Sundowns, won African's CAF Champions League. So he could say his career was on an upward trajectory. Yes, but unfortunately, well, he lost his grandma as well during the World Cup in the before the game against Czech Republic, and he showed ultimate professionalism to still go ahead to play that game, regardless of the news of his grandma's passing, breaking just hours before that game. So a lot of people are pointing towards perhaps depression or something, but like I said, officially the cause of his death is yet to be revealed. Yes, it's yet to be. But like I said, this thing just brings the whole thing into perspective. Today, you could just be playing at your first ever World Cup, and in a couple of weeks' time, you will not even be alive anymore.
Quality of life.
Yes. So like I said, it's unfortunate that we're ending on that sad note, but it is what it is.
Yes. What comes
Rest
away?
in peace, JD.
What comes away for me is the match between England and Argentina. I remember Italia 90. The goal that was scored with the hand of God by Maradona. Is it revenge time for England?
That was Mexico 86.
Mexico 86.
Maradona, yes.
86?
Yeah.
Okay. Now 86. Now this is 2026.
Yeah.
So is it time for revenge for England?
It depends on how you want to see
it. That thing paid England.
Yes, of course. The hand of God, the whole hand of God thing, I think disorganized England. Yes. And then Maradona took the opportunity to now score one of the most beautiful goals ever at the World Cup. Dribbled basically from his own half to the English post and scored at the end of that fantastic run. Well, if you see it as a revenge, then that's a dangerous way to look at it.
English people are coming with a sense of revenge.
But that's a dangerous time. The fans can always do that. Fans can always do that. But as the players, I don't think it is advisable for you to go into a game thinking about vengeance. Yes, because then you expose yourself to perhaps a red card or something, and that's what Argentina wants. So just go into it, see it as their generation is no longer there. So just focus on what your generation saw. And this, ironically, will be the first ever time Lionel Messi will be coming up against England in his career. He's never played against England before.
So this is a milestone.
Yes, for him. So, but for me, the game is still 48 hours away, but I think England go into it as favorites. Why do I say so? Argentina, they've not really been convincing. If you watch Argentina games,
most time the teams that win the cup, they are not convincing.
I get what you mean.
They dig it out in every game.
I get what you mean, but there's also an argument to say that you eventually run out of luck. Because what they do eventually is just to get the ball to Messi and then something happens.
You're saying,
get the
is
ball
that
to
luck?
Messi.
That's not luck, please.
No, it is. You can count it as luck.
That's strategy. Yeah. If you know your talisman.
Strategy, tactics, luck, they all play a part.
If you go back to the game of Norway,
there
was the time the striker was having the ball and Haaland was.
You could have played him in
if he had crossed that ball to him, that would have changed the completion of the game.
Of course.
And you wouldn't have said this.
There's so many other sliding doors moments as well, even in the games that involved Egypt and Argentina. There's so many of them that you could look at and say, if this had not happened, that would not have happened. But like I said, I still make England favorites going into this one. Right? If not for anything, just for the fact, like I said, Argentina, they don't blow you away with their football. They just tough it out, play dirty if they have to, and then give the ball to Messi and something might happen.
Which you don't worry yourself. If you are watching in the days of Germans, it was Rummenigge and 10 robots in the field.
Yeah.
Well, we have to wait till tomorrow before we see another action in football. Tony, thank you for being there.
Pleasure,
and of course, I'm still here with, if you don't mind.
Keep kicking a time for us.
Still here with
sports,
success and
feeling the heartbeat
and
of sports for Dott TV.
I even almost forgot to talk about the young man out of Ferry, of course.
We'll come back after this break. We'll come back after this break.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Dott Entertainment, your weekly dose of pure fun, airing every Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Only on Dott TV.
Welcome back. Straight up, we are going to entertainment gist, and of course, Kira is here. Kira, I like your glasses.
Thank you.
Matching with your
Thank you.
Outfits.
All right.
Thank you.
She's
Good
looking
to have
wonderful this morning.
Yeah.
You people just killing me with confidence.
No, we want to
deserve
want to settle you in.
I hope you didn't plan to become the entertainment.
I think that's what she has done.
I'm
So what do you have for
suspicious
us? What do you have for us this morning?
Well, a lot happened over the weekend, and we're going to start national because what better way to start than our First Lady? Because over the weekend, the Nigeria's First Lady told Nigerian musicians, singers, she mentioned Ashake, Davido, and Burna Boy to help alleviate poor Nigerians from poverty, as the burden is too huge for the Nigerian government to carry alone. So the president's wife, she made this statements during the launch of the National Community Food Basket in Lokoja, the state capital of Kogi State, on Saturday. She made an example for them with, Senegalese singer, Akon. She urged them to start helping the poor, just like Akon is doing in Senegal. She also urged the music stars not to focus on purchasing luxury cars like Maybach and Rolls Royce alone, put back into the community. So in her own words, she said, "We have a lot of wealthy people, but our priorities are different. I want to appeal to the young ones in the entertainment industry to use I will use the music icon Akon, who does a lot of great charity work in Senegal." She said, "Ashake, Davido, the Burna Boys of this world, and all of them, we want to see you with one foundation or the other helping the poor with your money. The burden on the government is huge. Good cars are good. A Maybach and Rolls Royce are good, but still, you can help." So away from our First Lady, the last time she came out to say something, the whole nation was ablaze. She now came out again. It's like we are going to set the fire again, but let's leave the First Lady right now. Let's talk about Pella, because Pella and Javis are about to get married. So Nigerian TikTok creator Hamzat Habib Adelaja, popularly known as Pella, over the weekend revealed that he has privately enrolled in a marriage counseling class ahead of his wife's wedding with his wife, Amadou Elizabeth Aminat, the one you know as Javis. Pella made the statement during one of his many live streams over the weekend, and he also went on to explain that the counseling class was part of the reason why we didn't see so much of him on social media these days. He also disclosed during this same live stream that he has bought a $36,000 TV van for his upcoming white wedding with Javis, because he said that he wants his fans all over the world to watch, the wedding. It's going to be a banger. But the couple also have announced that their white wedding will be on August 1st, 2026.
Finally.
Yes.
Wonderful.
They both made the announcement in a video on their verified social media pages over the weekend. So the white wedding announcement is coming barely, I think 3 weeks ago, they just did the whole traditional rites in Benin. But moving away from marriages, let's go over to concerts.
Saying, is she pregnant? But allegedly. Go ahead.
Okay. Whiskey to headline Tri-Bill Fest Deluxe in Minneapolis, United States. This announcement was made by the event organizers. The festival celebrates Black music, culture, and artistic expression from around the world, and is scheduled to take place on July 24th at the Armory in Minneapolis, United States. But joining Whiskey on the stage for the lineup are R2Bs. We have Cranium, we have Voice, and we have CIC. While DJ Tunes, DJ Prince, DJ Falsey, DJ Lebo, and DJ Foreign were announced as the official DJs for this event. It's going to be a banger for Nigerians in diaspora.
Yes.
We know that we don't have anything to do there. We are in Nigeria.
Don't fly now.
Who will not be doing
just
bringing gist for you.
Okay. I understand.
Don't leave me.
No. Stay with us. Stay with me.
So we could actually still, get the gist.
Yeah.
Yes. You are here,
No,
so
the gist
you
will come.
get the gist for us.
We're waiting for the gist of the show.
Well, I believe.
But the thing is, you can actually go there and report live.
And report live.
Actually,
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll talk to the management about this.
All right. I have more that happened in the entertainment industry. Updates. Do I still have any time to just you guys?
Yes,
please.
Yes, go ahead. We love it.
Now my topics.
Yes, please.
All right. Nigerian content creator Kiki has explained why she will never collaborate with some of her colleagues in the entertainment industry. She made the revelation during a podcast interview that she can never partner with any skit maker that is too vulgar or indecent. You know, these days we try to sell.
Yeah.
So we say a lot of things just
to go viral.
We sell depravity.
Yes, to go viral. But she went on to defend her decision that it does not just align with her brand. It's not as if she is feeling superior. She just doesn't align with it. But the interviewer prodded her and said, mention name names. Come with your full shares. Bring it out.
Interviewers to do.
But then Kiki is not new in this business. She knew exactly what they were trying to do. But she said that she doesn't have any name. But people, creators that their contents are about breast, or any other body part. Yeah, likely she will not collaborate with any of them. She also stated that her inability to collaborate with such skit makers doesn't mean she looks down on them. Just that she's uncomfortable.
It's not consistent with her values.
Yes, with her values. It's not what her brand has over the time sold to her fans.
And the fact that she has maintained a decent brand, and
yeah,
has been accepted
as
by
well.
that as well, that means she's not trying too much. She doesn't need to try too much.
Yeah. I feel like she shouldn't.
And that gives hope to anyone who is maintaining decency in content creation.
Definitely.
That over time, if you stay consistent and you
sure.
additional value,
It doesn't have to be
respect
depraved
you.
to sell.
But then they are also trying to get the clicks and the likes. But that's what pays. Do you understand? So they even on YouTube, you see all these clickbaits. It's not actually what is in the picture that you see in the video. So you're going to watch an hour video, up to an hour, and you will not see that image that actually made you click.
But if you make me, if that's a clickbait and you lure me and I don't find anything the first time, do you think I'm going to click on your?
No.
I won't.
Yeah.
Shut me up.
Yes,
click again.
Yeah. Any other one?
Yes, of course. We have been having gender wars for the longest time. In my industry, every day, one woman is fighting a man is fighting a woman.
Yeah.
So, but
who is fighting who?
No, it's not about fights today. It's not about fights. It's about the Nigerian rapper Vector. During an interview with Ebukobi Uchendo and Banky W, he said that he doesn't subscribe to the view that women are weaker vessels in the society because of the torture he experienced in the hands of his sisters. They showed him Pepe. He said that particular experience. He said that particular experience and other things he saw while growing up impacted how he views women currently as a man. He said he was bullied by his sisters to the point of being traumatized. But in his own words, he said, I have never in my life looked at a woman as inferior. My sisters were bullies when we were growing up. They gave me PTSD.
Oh my God.
That's why I don't agree with the mentality of saying a woman is weak, because it's a different story for her.
Well, now when you talk about bullying, it depends on what you are looking at, because there's a phenomenon I found. When a lady is older than the brother, there's this love, there's this care for the younger brother. But when a brother is older than the sister, there's this rudeness from the younger sister that causes violence between them. So this one is talking about, are those sisters elder or younger?
Well, he has younger and also elder.
But all of them
collaborate.
It's not always.
They can collaborate together.
Yeah, but it's not always the case. I have seen a family where the younger brother bullies the elder sister. Elder sisters, actually, not sisters.
It's
Sisters.
about personality.
It's about personality,
of
actually.
Individual bullying.
Yeah.
Being bullied. Some people
bullying
who have
the elder sister.
Yes.
Some
You know,
people who are cholerics,
You'll be surprised. That's stemmed from how the father was treating the mother.
No, not really. No, they're not. They're not all the time. Not all the time.
There's this much love coming from elder sister to the younger brother that softens him.
Yeah.
So if a younger brother is bullying the sister, I can tell you it stems from how the father was treating the mother. That's my view.
I agree with you, but
That's
not all
my
the
view.
time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. Sometimes it's just he's the first son. You know, we have this Igbo mentality that the first son is always like, even if you're the other, once the first son is speaking or has a view, we need to
even
listen
your
to
mother,
him.
Your mother wants you to keep quiet.
Do you understand?
I think it's a family matter.
So it's a family,
Exactly.
it's a societal
I
matter, it's a
wanted
family
to say
matter.
that because how children relate among
Yes,
themselves
yes,
is a
yes.
function of what's going on.
In the-
Sometimes it's
yeah.
not just about the nuclear family.
Absolutely.
It's about the extended family
Family.
system around them, what
Okay.
they observe. Because we also have families where you have lots of daughters, maybe 4, and then they have one brother who is cherished.
Oh, yes, yes,
You know,
yes,
so
yes,
In the midst
yes,
of all
yes,
of it.
it's about the vibe of the family.
Okay.
And he can do anything and do no wrong.
Yeah.
But when he does wrong, he gets the bullies.
Yeah, do you understand? So it's,
All right, let's look at that marriage. I always have issues with celebrities trying to behave as if wedding is the actual marriage. Because sometimes they miss it. Like Pella is telling us he's going to bring, is it television van? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
like we already bought $86,000 US dollars
That's what I'm saying.
worth of TV van, so you'll be able to broadcast it.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
his fans all over
Now,
the world.
all that, because as far as I'm concerned, the wedding is not the marriage. We spend a lot of energy broadcasting, spreading news about the marriage, and then when we enter inside the house, it's like, the house cannot contain us again.
Who doesn't know Pella? if you were talking about any other celebrity, perhaps it would be. But because it is Pella, and we know how he has managed his celebrity status all this while, with a lot of exuberance. So you can expect that he would also want to, and content creation is all he knows.
That's
as
all
it
he
were.
knows, yeah.
You know, so if content creation is his main thing,
Then
he also feels
wants
that
to create
every
content with
aspect
his
of
marriage.
his life
Yeah,
is
it's
about
content.
It's not
That's
about
just
So
it.
because it is Pella, I think this
He has
aspect
not
of it
even-
may
he
not
has-
quite play into it. Pella does not have anything to hide. He just wants to monetize his life.
Okay.
He already
It's
monetized.
like-
Already
it's like-
monetized
So,
your life
and
life is
already.
content.
I believe
Yes,
this
his
was-
life
life
is
is the
complete content. So even the marriage, after the wedding, the marriage is also content.
I hope so. Well,
But let me round it up on a high note
Very
for
well.
us because
Very well.
we all know that the FIFA World Cup is going on right now.
So there's entertainment inside FIFA.
They're everywhere. Even in the church, Bishop, I'm not in the church.
The places you travel
Yeah.
to.
It's crazy. I'm very jealous.
I was in the church yesterday.
Entertainment is in the
very
church.
And
as
entertainment
well.
was in the church.
Yes.
Sure. We bubbled.
Anyway, FIFA has announced that Justin Bieber will be the co-headliner at the FIFA World Cup final.
Fantastic.
The federation said the show would support the FIFA Global Citizen Education Fund, which is raising $100 million to help children access education and soccer around the world. You know, the Canadian superstar Bieber will perform alongside Madonna, Shakira, and BTS at the tournament's first ever halftime show to be curated by Chris Martin. The event will take place on July 19, 2026, the day of the game's championship match held at New Jersey Stadium.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Kira. You always make
Awesome.
it juicy.
We
The
started-
gist
Shakira
today
was
were
there.
good. Yeah.
Shakira was the beginning. And Burna Boy.
And Burna Boy,
Some
yes.
of our
She's
African
becoming,
ancestors.
she's
Davido also
becoming,
comes
she's
in,
becoming
yes.
a FIFA lady now.
Who's that?
Yes,
She comes from
Shakira.
all the stuff.
Oh, yes.
Shakira,
I mean,
yes.
every
now FIFA
FIFA World
ambassador.
song is a hit.
I think
Wow,
it's
it's a
also,
banger.
and that is what branding does for you.
Yeah.
From the beginning, there's this energy behind her music.
Yes.
And it's sporty somewhat.
Yeah.
So that endeared her, and it's natural. The fact that she has now become the
Brand, almost a
yes,
brand.
the person
brand.
of the
Yeah.
entertainment
For
side
entertainment,
of
yes,
FIFA.
sector.
And then I would see other musicians also coming
Yeah,
in.
there's this thing about her that I noticed since I was young. She's always leaning towards the African side.
Exactly.
Of
Yeah.
There's this,
That makes it fun.
leaning
That
on
makes
these
it
little
fun.
lines that she
you
brings.
know,
yeah.
Lo, 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 la, la, la.
Yeah.
Twist and every part.
Yeah.
Are you sure that
That
That was
Shakira has
2010.
not done DNA and found something like that?
No, but she must be African. That's it.
African.
All right, Kira, AK, thank you for being there, making it interesting on Morning Dew with your entertainment gist. We look forward to Wednesday. Thank you. Thank you.
Bad good,
Thank you
bad
so
good.
much.
All right, we'll be
That's
back
interesting in Nigeria.
to continue with Morning Dew after this time out. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Dott Entertainment, your weekly dose of pure fun, airing every Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Only on Dott TV.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
Yeah, welcome back and thank you for staying with us since the morning. We are moving over to business, and of course, Ewo Mazino Kiroro is here with us.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
having me.
Good to have you.
Good to have you, Zeno.
The way you are spelling, are you?
Happy to be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I know you are here with your business crate. Can you unpack it?
All right. So good morning and welcome. We're talking money this morning. Africa's richest man is placing a big bet on East Africa. Nigerian families are spending billions to send their children to school abroad. And one small Caribbean island just made it easier for Nigerians to do business there. Let's get started. Okay, so for Dangote, because he's not slowing down, it's just incredible to watch. Africa's richest man is betting big on East Africa. In Tanzania, he just unveiled plans for a new seaport, a power plant, and a fertilizer project announced after meeting with the country's president. And he's planning something even bigger, a $17 billion oil refinery, likely in Kenya. That refinery is already drawing interest. Tanzania's richest businessman says he's ready to put $100 million in, though he'd rather see it built in Tanzania than in Kenya. So this isn't only about Nigeria anymore. Between Kenya, Tanzania, and Ethiopia, Dangote's group says it wants to put around $40 billion to work across Africa in the next 5 years. So the man who reshaped fuel in Nigeria is now trying to do it for the whole continent.
Amazing. That's a great African statesman.
All right. Now, same with money. This time it isn't about billionaires, it's about ordinary families. Nigerians spent $2.8 billion on foreign education last year. That's according to the central bank, and it's a new record, up 14.5% on the year before. School fees are still the single biggest thing Nigerians spend their dollars on when they travel abroad. More and more Nigerians see a foreign degree as a surer bet, and for many, school has become the door to leaving Nigeria altogether. At a time when dollars are scarce and expensive, that is a striking amount to send out. It's a vote of confidence in foreign universities and a hard question for our own universities, which are fighting to hold on to their students and to their lecturers. Now let's end with some good news for Nigerian business owners. The Caribbean island of Grenada is opening its doors to Nigerians visa-free. The Nigerian passport is one of the weakest passports in the world. It only gets you visa-free access to fewer than 50 countries, and that number has been shrinking recently. So every new door that opens counts. Grenada's representative in Nigeria says his country has already approved the plan. What's left is for Nigeria to say yes in return, and that's expected to happen later this month. Once it's through, the plan is to make it easier for entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals to explore the Caribbean in trade, tourism, education, even fintech. There's even talk of a direct flight, which would cut out the long detours through Europe that Nigerians deal with today. It's a small island, but at a time when doors have been closing on the Nigerian passport, one opening is worth celebrating.
Thank you, Zeno.
Thank you, Zeno. I like the way you went through it.
Yes, she
Was in
simplified it.
style. Now, two things I take away from there. We are just about seeing Dangote ease off the situation of petroleum products in the country.
Yes.
And then he's thinking of going to Tanzania and Kenya, whatever.
Ethiopia.
Do you think that's the wisest decision? Is it business-like? What's that for Nigerians?
Well, he's spreading his risk.
Okay.
If he invests everything, all of the infrastructure he's building into Nigeria, if things go wrong, he's in trouble.
Okay.
So right now he's looking into East Africa.
Diversifying.
Yes. And he's also looking into Central Africa. I believe he's in talks with the Congo as well for energy. And energy is really the bedrock of any kind of infrastructure projects we're trying to build.
Yeah.
We've been trying to industrialize Nigeria for a very long time, but the biggest issue has been energy.
That's
The Manufacturing Association of Nigeria says that they spend 40% of their earnings on just diesel alone. And on top of that, we also need infrastructure like railways, roads, directly from the manufacturing plants to the seaports, even aviation. So Dangote expanding his footprint is only good for us. You may have noticed that the Dangote refinery has actually eased off a lot of the trouble in the world in the midst of the US-Iran crisis.
Yes.
They are now the largest jet fuel supplier globally. So they've actually stopped what would have been a horrible situation for us if there was no Dangote refinery. So we're seeing that investment in infrastructure is actually paying dividends for the whole world. So African manufacturing works. And it works for the world.
Actually, was concerned about the fact that we should have concentrated on making it easy for Nigeria. That is enough products at good price before we now talk about affecting other parts of Africa.
I think he has already tried, maybe, let me not conclude here, but he has tried some steps to, bring down price of petroleum products and have enough, to go around. And saying it from the businessman
I know that's where you are going to come from. I know. Making profits.
Exactly. The businessman with a business mindset, true. Not just staying in one locality, but broadening out. Do you understand? Broadening out. So it is not ideal. Like, okay, you're having just this area where you have your income or where you have your business situated. So you spreading out. It tells how broad your mind is. In terms of business and growing and reaching out to other parts of the continent.
I think Dangote hit a gold mine. Because all this while growing up, we know about his investment in sugar, other things.
Food, yes.
Yes, so now he's
Pastries.
branching into a very critical area.
Yeah.
And he's seeing that it's not just Nigeria that needs this product.
Absolutely.
He sees that it is an African
An African
solution
problem.
that he's
Yeah.
providing.
Exactly.
So I think we should all actually be celebrating him because
I do.
he's now Nigeria's gift, not just to Nigeria, but to Africa.
To Africa.
And perhaps
Yes.
later to the world.
And of course,
Gift to mankind.
you see that there is a transition ongoing. We see him involving his daughters in his business, knowing that he will not be active for too long.
That's a great mindset.
So I think that that's a man who's also building a solid foundation and trying to cement his footprints across the continent, so that when his daughters come in, everybody will face their own
They will have
aspects.
something to keep them busy.
So he's not just branching out; he's also planning for expansion and for scale. Don't you think?
I think it makes
For
perfect sense.
longevity
And
as
he's
well.
not only doing that for his daughters, to your
Yes.
point as well,
Yeah.
he's doing it for Nigerians.
That's right.
Because we're now looking at roughly, they're estimating that Dangote will be selling from his refinery about 800 naira a barrel,
Fantastic.
a liter rather, for
Yeah.
Liter.
petrol.
For fuel.
That is amazing. That is
That's
going
right.
to take the pressure off so many Nigerian families and so many Nigerian businesses. And in return, it's going to be reflected in consumer prices.
That's right.
So it's good for
All
us.
right.
For
The other one, schooling abroad.
Yes, schooling abroad. And
Paying school fees in dollars. I'm
education
concerned.
is my forte, right?
Yeah.
So I feel that we should talk about this now that we're talking about the economic downturn.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that Nigerians, the wailing has increased over time. Where is this money?
Well,
Coming
people
from-
are going to alternative credit sources. A lot of people don't borrow from banks, but they borrow from family, they borrow from friends, and they borrow from private credit. It's risky. It puts a lot of families at risk. But what you really see is this is a launch pad for many people to leave the country. That's just the truth of it.
Is that good for us?
It's not ideal because if you imagine $2.8 billion invested in Nigerian universities, it's going to change the landscape of education in Nigeria. It is actively negative for us.
Okay.
It's also, we're losing teachers, we're losing professors, we're losing
That's right.
Human
researchers.
resource across board.
This is massive brain
And
drain.
even our structures are in disrepair. So
Yes. If you look at schools right now, universities, even the premium ones from decades ago that our fathers went to,
yeah.
they're in
You,
disrepair.
Alexander. Zeno, let's contextualize this. You touched on something that I wasn't even thinking about, the fact that people borrow to pay school fees abroad. I was asking you
Definitely.
where the money is coming from, thinking that you would tell me that some Nigerians have money stashed somewhere.
No.
But you're saying that people are going into debt
Yeah.
just to finance international
Yeah,
education.
yeah.
Yes.
What's the guarantee that it's going to work and that they will
What's
pay
the
back?
return that will
I mean,
come? What's the economic
what
or
is-
business
what-
sense of spending
Are
money
they
to send
managing
children
their
abroad to
business?
go and
I
school?
think
Okay.
what they're
don't
doing.
understand.
I think I understand this now.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, the economic and business sense is they're looking for a better life for their families.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what they understand is that if they get abroad, they will get jobs and they will work off the debts and they will pay back.
Okay.
The pound, the dollar, stronger than the naira. So
Of
anything they
course.
earn, they can ostensibly pay
You
back.
have been abroad.
Is that
How
realistic?
workable is this?
Is that
process?
realistic?
It's
I'll
workable
go
if you
there,
have.
make money in dollars and plow back.
Break
It's
your back.
Is it
workable.
working?
You will just not be able to do anything else. You will completely devote your life to working, and school will be just on the side.
Okay.
But that's really the goal here, to leave the country. But the truth is, this money could be better spent at home, but it won't be. Because it's only a launch pad for people to leave. So ideally, what should be happening is trying to get people to stay, invest their money here. And like you asked, people don't really have a lot of savings.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing that you can really do because inflation is outpacing your earnings
That's
every
right.
single
That's
month.
right.
The entry to the stock market and everything is so complex and it feels futile. So there are a lot of fundamental issues that need to be fixed. That's why the Dangote refinery is helping, because once you fix the energy shortage, a lot of issues
It will
start
show
to become
other-
So
fixable.
you're saying that education or earning certificates, foreign certificate, is not the focus. That
It is not really the
survival,
focus.
escape
It
is.
may be.
A
It may
gate
be.
of escape.
Maybe for some
Let's
people,
use
it
For
that
might
some
as
be.
example.
persons, it's a gate
Okay.
of escape
Zino,
from the country.
You schooled abroad,
Yes, sir.
and now you are here.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel disadvantage coming back to Nigeria, or you think it's an advantage having school there to come back here, or would it have been better for you to stay there, for instance?
Oh wow, that's a very interesting question.
Mm.
I think yes, I feel some disadvantages coming back.
just going to a different place changes the way you think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not enough, really. In fact, when you come back and you've gone there and you've lived in a high trust society, it puts you at a disadvantage here because you're very susceptible to
You're vulnerable.
Many things.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Very
Many
vulnerable.
things. No, we're talking in terms of economics now.
Okay.
We're talking business.
Okay.
Now, look, your parents, sorry we are using you as example.
It's all
because
right.
I wish we
coming
wouldn't
from
have
you
to.
is
Yes,
very genuine.
yes.
No, your parents spend money to send you abroad to school.
Yes.
Just like
And
other
then you are
parents
there.
have done now.
You are there. Now, you are here now. When you just suppose you're being there with here, which one would have been better for you economically? I'm not talking about
yeah,
socially.
staying there.
Economically.
Staying there.
Yes.
All right, that does it for business.
So
board.
wait,
We're
but
not done yet.
No,
We have one
no,
more. And this
no,
one is very
already done there
important.
because yes,
Because-
that's where we
No,
see
we
is that
have to quickly punch the last,
Exactly.
the last
Okay.
story.
Yes.
Because
Which
we're
one?
talking about the Nigerian passport among the weakest in
The
the
weakest,
world.
yes.
That is
I
one.
wanted to avoid that one.
And
no,
then-
but
wanted to
it's
avoid
also the
it.
reason
And-
why people will pay for
and of
education
course-
more as a window to leave the country
And get a
because
different passport.
Get a different passport and better pay, better life.
So that is the situation we find ourselves in now. And you talked about Cambodia saying that they've extended visa-free to Nigeria opportunity,
excuse me,
but now they're
if a Nigerian is going
expecting...
to Cambodia,
Grenada,
I sympathize with him.
For
Grenada, sir. No,
investment,
it's a
to invest,
beautiful.
You're taking
yes,
visa.
yes,
It's a very
that's
beautiful
how we
island
see
nation.
Poland, but now you have to get your
The
visa
question,
paid
you
to
wanted
get
us to
Poland.
leave. My question is, they are asking Nigeria that Nigeria might have to respond like a yes in response. So to you as a business analyst, what is that yes? So what would the yes sound like? What's the expectation from the country, from Nigeria?
So they want to open up their country to trade from Nigerian investors, from Nigerian businesses. So in response, we would want something from Grenada. Grenada is just a beautiful island nation. It's known for vacations. They're very laid back. They don't have a very high GDP, but they're a beautiful place. If they want to trade, if they want to come and do business, then I suppose we could open up our borders. We're expecting an answer.
Visa-free for visa-free.
Yes, we're expecting an
Awesome,
answer in late
awesome,
July.
Awesome.
All right,
Fantastic.
this is where we'll wrap
Thank
it
you
up
so much,
on
Zina.
Business Boss. Ewo Mazino, I like calling your name cool. Thank you for that, which you
And
gave
thank you
us.
for choosing
You gave us a
Nigeria.
bite, yeah. Thank you for coming back to be with us.
Thank you for coming back
Well,
home.
we'll continue with Morning Dew this morning. Stay with us.
We'll try and...
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, We don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity. And unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity. And unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. Thank you for being there since. And we are transiting. We are going to have a conversation with a man who is a politician, who is always ready to speak, is a socialite. And of course, he is a traveled man who tends to have, a tip on everything going on around the globe, talking about Ogbueshi Honorable Taji Isiche, who is the executive assistant to Delta State Governor on community development. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, my beautiful sisters. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We're talking politics, and I know that's your tough. Even though you are appointed for community matters, you do well there. One of these days will come there. But now, a lot of issues building up to 2027. Everybody is, let's start from here. For 56 days, Nigerians everywhere were concerned about the kidnap of children from a school, them and their teachers, and they were held, in captivity. And just this weekend, the news burst of how they've been, rescued from the hand of their captors. I'm sure that politicians will have words to say, and of course, the APC and the president himself will be, throwing punches to the air. Yes, we did it
Mm-hmm.
towards 2027. What does this mean for Mr. President?
Oh, thank you very much, my dear brother and my sisters. Good morning to our viewers. I believe you are talking about the Orire kidnapped students and their teachers in the town of Ogbomoso in Oyo State. Not exactly 56 days they've been in captivity. They've been in captivity for 57 days.
Okay.
So let us not omit one day.
Okay.
It came to our hearing 2 days ago that they've been released from captivity. And that gave us a spite of relief. And we're joyful about it. I said in some other places that there are 3 old professions in this world before other professions emanated.
Okay.
The number 1 profession, which is also in the Bible, is farming.
That's right.
The second profession that is recorded in the Bible, in the book of Genesis chapter 37, is prostitution, where Tamar, the daughter-in-law of Judah, the Bible recorded it that when he wanted to get back to the father-in-law, he went to the field, and the Bible recorded that she dressed like a prostitute. That's to tell you that prostitution exists at that time. The third one is criminality. Also in the book of Genesis, where Cain killed Abel,
the brother,
and so on and so forth. What am I saying? Criminality has been part of us. It's not new.
Okay.
We only protect ourselves from criminality. We only prevent it. Most advanced countries, they don't react. They are proactive.
They respond.
That is where Nigeria is supposed to be now. We need to start being proactive. In Israel, you'll be surprised. How do they know things? You've not even executed. Only you conceiving evil against them in your mind, they've attacked you. Because they gather intelligence. They do a lot in psychology.
And preventative too.
Are you getting me? Every youth corps in Israel goes into the military and they receive military training because they know people around them have criminal tendencies. They don't want them to survive. They don't want them to live. Hence, they must protect themselves to live. So when war comes, everybody has gotten military training.
Exactly.
You see, people are surprised all this kidnapping. Thank God I was born and brought up in the north. The biggest local government in Nigeria, the biggest, that is almost equivalent to the entire southeast, is Bogu local government in Niger State. Famously known as Kenji Dam. That is where I was raised. And that is the main center point of these terrorists now. Not even your Sambisa forest.
That it was Borno. Where is Borno?
Sambisa forest is in Borno. Sambisa forest used to be where late Abacha used to train his snipers that were now abandoned and the criminal took over. I just have to digest and respond to my sister because I have the knowledge of all these things and I'm aware. Kenji, which is in Bogu local government, we have what we call Kenji Lake National Park, where we go to see wildlife. That place has been abandoned. That is where these criminals, when the government started bombing them in Borno, in Zamfara, That is
ran to
where
that
they ran
place.
to.
Oh.
Oyo State, where this incident happened, they have their own Oyo State National Park.
Yes.
They share boundary with that place.
Oh, with Niger. Oh.
We are only lucky that these children have not been taken
We're not
Kenji,
crossed over. Yeah.
to Niger. If not, it will have been difficult. Unlike before, people should stop to be sentimental. People should stop to be tribalistic human being. If your persons of choice that you want to be president do not win, that does not mean you should abandon our total collective agenda as a nation. We are all Nigerians.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Are you sorry, Mao?
Oh,
I have not even landed on this matter.
I-
Are you getting that?
Excuse me.
Now, these people, maybe you can note it down. These people, if it is were before, they would have moved them.
Yes. To
that place.
To that place in
If it were before, these people make a request. Mind you, unlike what people are saying in social media, these people didn't request for
bikes.
No. They didn't request for bike. They didn't request for ransom. What they requested for was releasing their commanders that Nigerians have arrested, sometimes in February. Remember that this group of terrorists is called Asawu or something like that. Are you getting me now? This, and they are affiliated to Al Qaeda. Their number one commander and the greatest bomb-making man among them that has been in American list for many years that they are looking for. Nigeria caught that person in the village or town called Wawa in Bogu local government in Kenji.
Kenji in Niger State.
Which is about 9 miles to New Busa. Wawa is another community. The left-hand side, you go to Kayama, which is part of Kwara State. Remember those places were part of Kwara State before 1992. It is these people that were arrested that the DSS now is about prosecuting that these people demanded for.
Okay. So they were
Mind you, some Nigerians that are in opposition against this government, when this kidnap happened, to show them that they are serious, they slaughter one of the mathematical teachers that were with them, a man. They slaughtered the man. To the view and glaring of every person. The opposition people were happy to share it on social media. When these children were finally released, shame on to those Nigerians that were not able to celebrate the recovery of our brothers and sisters and our children. Now they are even saying it is a setup, it is a drama, it is acting.
No, of course, the opposition will say anything.
Now, but not with human life.
Yeah, that's true.
There is an extent politics should get to.
No, what we want
you
to
ask
do
a
now.
question, is it a plus?
Yes.
It is a big plus that even the American government in February, when these Asaru's leaders were being arrested in Wawa, they celebrated. Do you know how many years it took America to get Osama bin Laden? It took them a little over 10 years.
So we should give kudos to the federal government.
And the federal government this time around refused to do right from its beginning of government. He refused to pay ransom to any, even though they were blackmailing that they pay ransom.
Now, can we take this prototype to other areas?
America, the most powerful nation in the world, will copy what Nigeria did. Do you know what they did? Right from day one, unknowing to you, right from day one that these people were adopted. The military, the police, combined force, even civil defense and local hunters, they surround that park.
Okay.
Not to allow them to move
over. Yeah. Because
but they are being careful to avoid casualties. And do you know what? The people were so serious that they are going to kill all those people. because the government refused to yield to their demand of releasing
those.
Do you know what the government did? Especially our good DSS of today, not of those days. They went, they were conversing with them on phone, and they begin to know them, know where they come from. They went to their towns and villages. They went to arrest their mother, their father, their wives, their children. They video them the way they video our own children and the teachers and send to them that if anything happened to them, we will also slaughter. They have emotions too.
Yeah.
They have emotions.
That's the irony I saw in all those things.
And that was why they could not go ahead like it used to be in those days, where they will slaughter one. If you did not yield, they will slaughter another one.
Because I've been wondering.
It has never happened before, but no government will not talk. They will not reveal. Security matter is not something you reveal. And those people know. Then after some time, the government gave them 72 hours ultimatum to release those people. If not, and on exactly 72 hours, they move into them.
All right, so much on that.
They move into them. Some Nigerians that are complaining now that do you know that we lose an officer?
Yes, 28.
And we lose some police. One of the officers was just buried almost immediately.
Yes, on the same day.
And still some Nigerians that I don't know what is wrong with them are still saying it's drama. So, my dear, kudos to Mr. President, kudos to Nigerians, kudos to our security agencies, because they behave above board this time around.
Now, let's talk about your portfolio here in Delta State. Community development is your forte. These forests, I'm happy that you even know the Nigerian map off by heart. You are literally taking us around Nigeria. These forests, are they not in communities? And your portfolio is community development. In what way?
Of course, in Delta State.
Yes, in Delta. Yes, but I'm sure that whatever you tell us can apply in other parts
That is what I'm doing here.
country.
Your program is viewed all over the world. So she's right to an extent.
How well he knows what is going on in the community development space. Also, I'm sure that you're aware of the security things, issues that come up with community development, because security is a part of community development. In what way were our communities secure in times past that did not allow criminality to thrive in our forests?
Thank you. Now, when military incursion happened in 1966, things changed for this country. When military took over, military deliberately refused to fund the police, refused to empower the police to get the required equipment for them to do their police work, in order for the police not to be able to overthrow military. Now, me they talk, I don't bend down my own. Are you getting me? Now, what happened is that doing so to the Nigerian police become inadequate to police us. And the population of Nigeria as at that time is not the same numbers of population we have now.
Of course.
It's wide, serious wide. And we are not employed. Today, I can tell you, we have less than 300,000 police to police over 230 million Nigeria. Do you know that the military we have today, we have less than 250,000 military. It will take us not less than 20 years if we are employing 10,000 police every year. And funding, equipment, and paying of salary. It is not easy. And that is why I say Mr. President today is going back to the way it's supposed to be. Community and state police.
Okay.
Since the states have money now, local government have money now, let every state, let every local government have. Not the way you will post an Hausa man to come to Delta, a Delta man to go to North. How do you know the community? And when you are talking about this forest, my dear sister, do you know that Sambisa forest you are talking so? Sambisa forest cut across from Sokoto, Kebbi, Jigawa, Zamfara, Castina, then down to part of Adamawa. There
was this thing you said about.
So how will you?
You said about your state.
Yes, sir.
Boundary with
Niger
State.
Yes.
Is it not Kwara State that has boundary with?
That what?
That Ogbomoso has
No. Ogbomoso, when you leave Oyo, Ibadan, you will get to Oyo. When you leave Oyo, you will get to Ogbomoso. When you leave Ogbomoso, you will get to Oshogbo. When you leave Oshogbo, you will get to Ofa. When you leave Ofa, you will get to Ikirun. When you get to Ikirun, you get to Ajashe. From Ajashe, before you get to Ilorin. From Ilorin, you now get to Jeba. From Jeba, you get to Mokwa. When you get to Mokwa, by the left, you go to Kenji Dam. By the right, you go to Mina.
Okay.
It's okay.
So, my dear, this country is so big.
It's okay. We'll look at that now. But let's come to the issue of, how do we, because it's talking about the safety of our forests. Now, she's asking, how did we protect it in the time past?
Good.
That,
and we have to
did not enter.
We protect it in the,
how do we do
we
now?
protect it in the past because what has divided us now was not there. One, politics of tribalism was not there.
Yeah.
Politics of religion was not there. And mind you, in this country before, even though it's military government, Christian has governed this country before.
Yeah.
When Gowon was head of state for 9 years, his deputy was a Christian, Gowon was a Christian.
Yeah.
This issue of tribalism, you are Igbo, you are this, was not there. Nigerians get everything by merit.
Yeah.
And I told you from the beginning of this program, because there is no time, so sometimes I'll build up some things I may not be able to finish. I told you that criminality has been right from long time immemorial, even in Nigeria. But do you know what? Nobody hear the news because the apparatus we have for news now is not there. Mind you, everybody is a journalist now with that camera phone you have. Social media exposed many things that was happening before that is not known.
Not publicized.
I know in the north, in those days where these same terrorists, we did not see them as terrorists at that time. On market day, there is a tribe in New Busa in Kenji that we call the Kemberis. They don't put on dress. Naturally, they don't put on dress. Just as we have them in America, the Red Indians, the really aborigines. They will come on market day, they target the lady they like and kidnap the lady. But where is the news that time?
Okay, so
the only means of news that time is NTA, and NTA only open by 7 o'clock. And do NTA have correspondents in all those areas to cover?
All right.
And the belief is that when you hold the lady, they will tie the lady down.
Yeah.
When the lady has given birth to 1, 2, 3, 4, they leave the lady. You can't go back again because your children is there. Emotion has gone. Do you know that many of the Boko Haram girls, Chibok girls that Boko Haram are confiscated? Even when they rescue them successfully and bring them back, they went back to the bush.
Because of their children.
Love is there.
We'll continue with the program. We'll go to other areas when we come back.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a short break. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. We have been on a political discussion, of course, the issue of the release of the school children at Orire. And of course, our guest is Obueshi Taju Isuche. He says, kudos to the government. And of course, he has been very explicit on what he believes government did to achieve that success. What other people are saying, take it to other areas and then give us more results because there are other problems. Now, let's come to the politics proper. As we speak, uploading of candidates was supposed to end on Friday.
Yeah.
And now INEC has extended it to midnight tomorrow.
Yeah.
Was that expected?
Thank God INEC did that. You know, my party, the APC, have successfully we meet up with the deadline.
No, you people have not met. No, you have not met.
No,
but there are still pockets of issues.
No. Uploading of our candidate has been successfully done.
Not in all the places.
I told you all the places.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you a member of my party?
No.
I am telling you. Get it. You can after this program research it.
So you've come past the fake list
no. Forget about it. Those are social media things.
Oh, okay.
Then I thank God, like I said, that INEC extended. The opposition that are shouting, they want to be on ballot, they want to be on ballot. After their internal wrangling, that is not our problem. But anything that affects them, due to their own internal wrangling, they say it's the opposition. You know, the other time, P2B was attacked in Benin by another faction of their party then. You know, within 3 months, it jumped up to about 3 parties. A faction that were not happy with the way they were going, attack. They say it was the APC. But thank God for the investigation of the DSS. Now again, when they have the internal wrangling, they took themselves to court and they have problem. They will say it is supposed. It is the. Now, if you are a serious person, they've given you a deadline. They've given you a code to access.
No, they were also issues on the issue of release of code.
No. They were able. They gave to them. They went to court and they gave to them. There was not any hindrance. Yes, that may be struggling. Not only APC that were able to meet the deadline. Even ADC, Atiku people, they met the deadline. What happened is that some of them don't even have data. they are poor. I'm telling you the truth.
Say data.
Are you getting that?
Yes, explain it to us.
Not data
of recharge card.
of getting information and research and all this. No, not that data.
Which one?
I'm talking about data for you to upload.
Recharge on your phone, like data.
Some of them have to leave their. I'm telling you the truth, my dear brother.
I don't think so.
Some of them have to leave their secretariat and go to another location because they don't have strong Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I'm telling you this now.
Okay.
If ADC successful, APC successful, and one other party successful,
what's happening to them?
What was happening to you? Are you getting it now? Now, look at now, you've seen seriousness in APC. You've seen billboard, you've seen bosses, you've seen different groups being formed, and so on and so forth. These people, you've not seen their poster. But they are loud on the social media.
Now,
manipulating things.
I can see the effort you are making to absorb APC.
So INEC has done what you're supposed to do.
No, hold on.
In any competition, they will tell you a starting time and an ending time.
Now they have shifted the goalpost to midnight.
They help them to shift it so that they will not complain that maybe they shut them out.
Now you are saying that you are absorbing your party. I see the effort you are making. But let's look at
and kudos to INEC for this new initiative. You know, before you carry a lot of Ghana must go documents. Going to Abuja to submit now they're giving you front load.
Yeah,
just give you a code and do your things by yourself. Don't say the error comes from us. Don't say we will meet your candidates.
I'm bringing you somewhere.
And they're still having problems.
We have somebody because most of the accusations of the opposition is that your party sponsors persons to come and then cause a breach in their party. Let's take, for instance, the FCT minister.
Yes.
Some weekend.
One of the best ministers in Nigeria.
I can see that because it's APC. PDP.
Now you got that.
It's ACP.
The man has continued to tell you that he's in PDP now and he's a member of PDP.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you ever seen him in the meeting of APC?
No, he has not come, but he has been caught on camera.
That is what you think.
He has been caught on camera saying that he's holding down the PDP for APC.
I'm not aware.
You are not aware.
You're not aware.
You are not aware.
And nobody can hold any political party down. And if only one man in the whole country can hold, then that man is
Superman. Okay.
And mind politics.
Okay.
It's a game whereby I will not allow you to win me.
I know.
You should not allow me to win.
There is political competition. But now, let's take this issue of Wike, for instance. He's a very active minister, handling a very serious position, having the full support of Mr. President. And now he's actively involved in another party. Why has he not been accused of anti-party activities?
Thank you. Is it Mr. President or you as a journalist that will go and accuse him of anti-party or his party leadership?
They are doing so, but their voice is faint because of the support he's getting from the government in power.
I'm sorry that I'm maybe making defense today for Wike. I love him as a person.
Okay.
And he belongs to my former party. Are you getting me?
And now your present party.
And no, we're not in the same party.
Yes, it's not.
But no matter what, where I am coming from, sometimes you see have.
But by relation, I think by relationship is in your present party.
Now, let me tell you, Wike is a very smart and intelligent fellow.
We agree.
When Wike was to take up this appointment as a minister, Wike wrote to his governor, "Sir, I've been called upon to take an appointment.
For the federation.
The governor approved.
Okay. That's Fubara.
Yes. He wrote to his state chairman and his ward chairman. They approve.
Okay.
He wrote to the national chairman
of PDP.
And the secretary. They approve. Mind you, sir, this is not the first time that somebody from another party will take an appointment.
No, of course,
in the government.
It's a logic. It's a logic.
Bola
approach.
Ige was in AD when he took appointment in Obasanjo's government as a minister for power and as a minister for justice.
Okay.
And we have them numerous.
But eventually he died mysteriously.
Mind you, okay, that's one. Mind me that you have been interviewing today.
Yeah.
I was special advisor to former Governor Emmanuel Odoa on inter-party relations.
Okay.
I was in an opposition, not with PDP then, but working in the government.
Well, you were assimilated into PDP?
No.
Via that
I came into
window of
PDP.
appointment?
I came into PDP after the government of Governor Odoa.
No.
I became a PDP member in 2018, and I took appointment in 2011. You can see the wife. So no.
All right.
Okay, now can we bring back to
let's
come back to 2027
Wike
elections?
is he is an intelligent man that knows the law, knows. You see, you think maybe he's bribing the court and again, he's also a
lawyer.
Apart from being a lawyer, he's also a man that delivers. Give Wike any job, you go to sleep.
We've seen what he's doing in the FCT, and that's
When he was in River State, you saw what he did in River State.
Okay.
I agree.
Now he's in Abuja now.
Our concern,
Look at what he has done.
Our concern is how he's using his position to work for a party that is not his, that he claims is not his party. So he's
not working for an individual party, he's working for Nigeria. Everything that Wike has done.
Let's come back to the...
What is intellect now that he has put on
working for the APC.
That he has put on
Okay,
PDP.
now-
It's for the benefit of what? Of Nigerians.
Let's come to the 2027 election now. So,
Go ahead, man.
do you think Nigerians have confidence in the present government of the day, like going forward to the 2027 election?
Are you not in Nigeria?
Of course I am.
And am I not in Nigeria? If you don't have confidence, and me, I have confidence, does that erode that the whole Nigerian does not have confidence? It's
your
about
party.
interest.
The ruling party is your party.
Let me tell you, 2023 election that was conducted that brought Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president, and that brought Governor Sheriff Oborowole as governor of Delta State and others. Let me tell you, 2023 election, maybe it's another topic for that day we discuss here, was one of the best election Nigeria ever conducted after 1990.
From what point of view?
Thank you.
Is it in the conduct?
Do you know that in that election,
in the release of the election?
Do you know that in that election, that was the election where more than 5 sitting governors that were seeking to go to Senate lost election, incumbent governor. Do you know that was an election where somebody that just picked up form just to fill up the gap for his party, Okada riders just become House of Rep member? Do you know that was an election where somebody was sleeping in his house, like my brother Ngozi Okole, sleeping in his house, and it was announced that he has won an election without having any agent that were able to supervise an election?
Truly incredible.
That was the popularity of the
I'm telling
candidate and
you,
the party.
now, you are talking about credibility. You are talking about credibility of the election and looking to 2027. I'm telling you that it has happened.
Okay.
But just because your candidate, your preferred candidate, do not win, and another person preferred candidate win, does not mean the election is not free and fair.
In
So
less
how
than,
can- yes.
All right,
in less
all
than
right. Because
48
time is
Let
very
politicians
Yes, you know what we're talking about?
let politicians be good sportsmanship.
Online uploading is ongoing, and we have less than 48 hours to
Tell those people if they don't have data, let them come. Let me give them
So
data.
what are the possible
Or
issues?
they should come to your
Because
area
we need
for
to
good
know
network.
when you're talking about
How
upload,
can somebody be using 5G
when you're
and
talking
some other
about
powerful network, and you are using 2G?
Obweshi, when
Upload.
you're
You'll be
talking
there
about
till tomorrow.
upload, you were saying that they should expedite so that they will not say that INEC shut the door
Yes.
on them.
Yes.
But we know that when it comes to the digital era, anything can happen.
Exactly.
Do you foresee that some people who may have even uploaded that later, their names will not feature on the list? What are the possible issues you foresee? And what do you expect INEC to do to be able to contain some of these issues that may emerge
INEC
post-upload?
INEC is not a political
That should
party.
be the last question.
INEC is not a political party. The party should solve their problem. Remember, in this country, anytime we're in any festive period, network for bank transfer.
All of those issues.
Yeah. So they should know what to do. Go and get strong network. I don't want to mention anything so that because they didn't pay us a big part of our advert. Let them go and get good network. And if they are short of money to buy data, I will give to them so that because we want competition.
After uploading, so there is something they will get. They will be told for them to know it was successful. Is that?
Yes.
Yes. So you will know that you have successfully uploaded.
When you seek admission in the school and you try to get admission online and all those stuff, don't you know the process you pass through both machine writing jam?
All right.
And sometimes when they could not get into the data, they know when to go in the night.
That should be for our discussion.
Are you getting that?
On this
tell the opposition political party to do the right thing.
It's all right.
You've told them.
Thank you for coming.
You've told
all this one that husband is the national chairman, wife is the national secretary.
We thank you for coming.
Get professionals to come and manage your party.
Thank you for coming. That's Honorable
Thank you. My hair swell, man.
Just too many issues we discussed on the issue of the release of the school children at Orire in Oyo State. And of course, the issue of uploading of candidates into the INEC portal. Thank you for making our studio boil.
Thank you,
it's
sir.
just that you did not allow us to talk because you were dominating.
That's why we talk about security. We should be proactive. Attack the attacker.
Yes.
Because I know you are.
You showed us how to do it.
Final word
So
on
you
the
came
show.
prepared. You actually came prepared for us.
Of course, collaboration is the
You
way
know,
to go.
you the journalist gave me an award some years ago as an interviewer's delight. So I will not fall my hand.
No, you brought the fire on.
You
and
brought
of course,
the fire
we're
back,
hoping
yes.
that in collaborating towards a more progressive Nigeria, that everyone should bring their fire on. Do your best to ensure that the security of not just your house, the environment is prioritized. If you see something, say something.
Exactly.
I am EP Arono, and I wish you a beautiful day.
Success.
Yes, and we're using this medium also to say kudos to the federal government and the security forces for, bringing back pupils and teachers for over 57 days, you said. And same measures should be, used for the other places where we have persons in captivity as well. Thank you so much for being on the show this morning.
Thank you.
All right, for me, what I take away on the program is the fact that NECO and WAEC have increased their fee to 50,000. Please, for the sake of education in the country, and for the sake of those who don't have money but they have more children, let's see how we can review the price. That's how we end it on the program today. Thank you, Taju. Thank you, Ife. Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, we have our smart young people in the control room talking about Nkechi Chukwudi, Aaron Ojefo is there, and of course Chika, Ikechukwu, and Uzochi. Thank you for being there. We'll see you the other side of the day tomorrow. Bye for now. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.